Meet Joaquin. He went from making basically $0 on YouTube to making $85,000 a month. And I started working with him when he was just 18 years old. Now, Joaquin helps international students get into Ivy League universities, and his spots are always sold out. And here's the crazy part. Joaquin is an international student himself, and he got into UPenn Wharton, which is the most prestigious business school in the world. And now he teaches other students how to do the same thing. And he completely changed his YouTube strategy. He pivoted his entire niche and built a business that most adults only dream of. And he did it all at 18 years old. And by the way, if you want to learn how to build a profitable YouTube channel like Joaquin, check out the link in the description for a free strategy call with my team. Now, when I first met Joaquin, he was just 18 years old. He had a small YouTube channel and he was making videos about engineering concepts. And he was teaching study techniques. Good content, smart kid, but there was one problem. He wasn't making much money from it. Pretty much $0.
Hey everybody, my name is Joaquin Ravello. I am the founder of an educational consulting group for high school students called Grizzly Elite. Ever since I started working with Shane on creating YouTube content, he's giving me some excellent actionable points.
That's right, he's the founder of Grizzly Elite. But back then, he was just a teenager with a YouTube channel going nowhere. Now here's where things get interesting. Joaquin had something special. He was an international student who got accepted into UPenn Wharton. Do you know how hard that is? It's not easy at all. Thousands and thousands of international students applied, but only a handful got in, and Joaquin was one of them. So Joaquin had cracked the code. He knew exactly what it took. And after we had a conversation, I basically told him, like, listen, there's about 1,000 other channels making productivity content. And your content is good, don't get me wrong, but why would they listen to you over someone like Ali Abdaal? So he went over his backstory, we talked about what his strengths, his weaknesses were, we talked about problems that he'd solved in the past, and we came to a decision. Forget engineering videos, forget general study tips. Let's help international students get into Ivy League schools.
I actually, ever since I started working with him, he told me to pivot away from a certain style of content and onto a more effective style later on, as well as gave me some of the routes by which I started to develop a method.
And this pivot changed everything. Within a short period, Joaquin went from making nothing to making over $85,000 a month. Let that sink in. $85,000 per month as a teenager in college. And the funny thing is, he was likely making more than the president of his university as a teenager. And his consulting spots are always sold out. Students are begging to work with him. Why? Because he delivers results. He helps international students achieve their Ivy League dreams. And I love working with people like Joaquin who give massive amounts of value to the market, but they didn't quite know how to position themselves and they didn't quite know how to create the right content or monetize it effectively. And that's what I helped him do. So if you have specialized knowledge like Joaquin, you could be sitting on an absolute goldmine. So again, book a free call through the link in the pinned comment below. Now, Joaquin's success wasn't just about the pivot. It was about the strategy. Notice what he said here.
Ever since I started working with Shane on creating YouTube content, he's giving me some excellent actionable points that I've applied on all of my videos, which has helped improve my views, but also get more higher paying customers and leads towards my business.
Not just more views, more high-paying customers. And this is crucial. Views are nice, but high-paying customers change your life. Now here's something genius that Joaquin does. He hides Easter eggs in his videos, little secrets that engaged viewers can find.
One of which was the actual Easter eggs, which you can find on my channel at Joaquin Ravello. And it's basically a way to get users interested into my content. They find these Easter eggs throughout my video, they apply that, and then ultimately they get into my funnels.
And this is brilliant, and it separates casual viewers from serious students. And the students who find the Easter eggs are the ones who pay attention. They're the ones who will invest in consulting. And most YouTubers focus only on views, but Joaquin learned something different.
One of the things that Shane emphasizes is not only the type of content to drive views and gets clicks, but also how to monetize it in the back end.
Front-end content give a massive amount of value there, and then back-end monetization. This is how you build a real business on YouTube. Now, here's why Joaquin's business works so well. He's not just teaching theory, he's lived it. He was an international student. He applied to Ivy League schools. He got rejected by some, but he got accepted by UPenn Wharton. And he knows every step, every challenge, every trick. And when he tells students what to do, they listen because he's proof that it works. This isn't some 50-year-old who got accepted like 30 years ago. This is someone who just got into the school just a few years ago. And so they know exactly what is working right now. And by the way, with a lot of my clients, I have them do this exercise where I basically pretend that they have a time machine. And I ask them, if you could go back in time to the younger version of yourself, what would you tell them that would save them a massive amount of time, effort, and money. And about 80% of the time, one of the answers to that question ends up being the client's niche. And it makes perfect sense. Joaquin was basically just helping the younger version of himself. He was making the content that the younger version of himself needed. And that's why the niche works so well. You don't have to do market research when the market research is just thinking back to your past. Now let's talk money. $85,000 a month. How? Well, Joaquin doesn't sell cheap courses. He offers premium consulting. Think about it. If you're an international student, getting into an Ivy League school can change your entire life. It can result in multiple millions of dollars in extra money throughout the course of your career. So obviously, these students and the parents of these students are willing to invest thousands of dollars for that opportunity. And Joaquin provides the roadmap. Now, some people might think that being 18 is a disadvantage, but it's actually your superpower in certain cases. And this turned out to be Joaquin's secret weapon, because he just went through the process, so everything was fresh. And he speaks the students' language because he's in the same generation as them. So he knows the exact problems they were having, and he knows the best ways to solve those problems. Whereas older consultants might have outdated advice. But Joaquin knows what works right now. Plus, students see him and think, if he did it, so can I.
Thank you to Shane, though. I've been able to dramatically improve my views over the past few months, focusing primarily on this type of niche content and videos that's been working for me towards my high school audience.
So basically, he's an inspiration to them. Another way of saying this is he inspires people because he's relatable. Now, success didn't happen overnight, but it did happen fast.
Throughout the entire progress, I made over 10K in a month thanks to his teaching. I would definitely recommend Shane for helping you make any type of YouTube content.
$10,000 in his first successful month. Then it grew from there. And after a few months, he did a launch and he made $85,000 a month. And the spots were always sold out. He had a massive wait list of people who wanted to work with him. So if an 18-year-old can build an $85,000 a month business, what's your excuse? Book a free call through the link below and let's unlock your YouTube potential. So what can you learn from Joaquin's story? First, age doesn't matter. Whether you're 18 or 80, if you have valuable knowledge, you can monetize it. Second, personal experience beats credentials. Joaquin doesn't have decades of experience. He has recent, relevant results. He went from broad engineering and study content to specific Ivy League admissions content, and his income exploded. High-ticket offers change everything. One client paying thousands beats 1,000 clients paying a few dollars. And Joaquin sells transformations, not information. He transforms average applications into Ivy League acceptances. He doesn't just give tips, he changes futures. And when you sell transformation, price becomes irrelevant because results are all that matters. Now, here's something powerful about Joaquin's story. He pivoted completely. Engineering and study content to Ivy League consulting. Technical videos to admissions coaching. And the pivot saved his channel. The pivot built his business. And if your current approach isn't working, maybe you need a pivot too. Maybe your true niche is hiding in your personal story. Now, another thing I'll say about Joaquin is he was very, very busy. He double majored, but one of his majors was engineering. So he was taking some insanely difficult classes. Plus, he tutored on the side and he had his YouTube channel. So one of the things I told him he needed to do immediately was to hire somebody to help him make the videos. And depending on your situation, this can be a really good choice for you as well, because YouTube videos reach thousands. And if you're too busy to edit videos on your own, just hire somebody else to do it for you. And it's not that hard if you know the right places to do it. And it also doesn't cost that much, because every video is like a salesperson who's going to work for you for free for the next 20 years. And they don't sleep. They work 24 hours a day, bringing in qualified leads, getting you views, subscribers, and making you money. And his spots stay sold out because demand always exceeds supply. In fact, there's been long periods where he just didn't upload videos at all because he had a massive wait list. And that is a beautiful problem to have. So my final thoughts here, Joaquin was 18, no business experience. He didn't come from a rich family. He just had a small YouTube channel talking about engineering and productivity. And within a short period of time, he scaled all the way up to a 7-figure business. And he is changing lives daily, all because he pivoted, all because he got the right guidance, and all because he took action and got help. So what is stopping you from doing the same? Real talk, if you've watched this entire video, you've seen an 18-year-old making more than the president of his university. So you know that it's possible. So why aren't you doing it? Here's the truth. Most people will watch this and do nothing. They'll make excuses. They'll say they're too old, too young, too busy, too whatever. But a few people will take action. They'll book a call and they'll get guidance and they'll build something amazing. So which person are you? Now, for just this video with the link in the description, the first 5 people who click the link are going to get a free audit. These are audits we usually charge $1,000 for, and they'll only be available until the end of the week. And on this call, we'll figure out where you are right now, where you want to go, right? What your goal is. We'll We'll make a plan to get there, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together or not. And we can only work with a few action takers at a time, so only book a call if you're serious about growing and making money on YouTube. Let's identify your unique advantage, let's find your profitable niche, and let's build your YouTube empire. Joaquin did it at 18 years old. So what's your excuse? You can do it. And also check out this video I did on Josh, who was able to get multiple offers from FANG companies, which are the hardest companies to get into in the world, using his personal brand that he built on YouTube. And then later on, he started making side hustle money from YouTube, like $5,000 a month, then full income money, like $10,000 a month. And then he scaled all the way up to $186,000 a month. And you can check that video out by clicking right here.